What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. This OTS pack is looking like a Team Samurai X1 title right now because it is hands down the best OTS pack to be released. When Konami gave support to tournament stores through champion packs back in the day and tournament packs, the evolution to this is amazing. Finally, Solemn Judgment gets an ultimate rare. Now, I'm a little bit biased here, being the first person to win offensively in a deck with 3 Solemn Judgments. Yeah, I'm heart-tied, but when looking at the market in general, we can say, hands down, this is going to be an $80 to $100 ultimate rare down the road without a shadow of a doubt. And we have the Lost Art coming up too for this, so people are going to have to make decisions on which to play. Well, joining Solemn Strike and Solemn Warning and Ulti, Solemn is going to be very classy. Twin Twisters finally rises to ultimate rare in OTS Pack 12. Finally. Well, it has been a long time coming. We've given up options for this in the past for Spell and Trap Destruction for the slot in there, and people have really been looking forward to this one. It does cycle out of formats, and we'll go into that in a bit, but I think this is easily a $50 ultimate rare as well. There's so much freaking value to this tournament pack. Wow. You can find foil upgrades to competitive strategies like Orcust and Salamangreat, so addressing the top decks, along with popular cards like Servant of Endymion, Time Thief Redoer, and Grin Maju.Iza. Konami, you are so in touch right now. You are actually looking through at what people want, listening to media. It shows that you've connected with YouTubers and you're listening, because all of this is so deserving, so awesome, and reaching out not only to the meta, but also to the rogue. And Grin Maju has a large fan base, like, on its own. And then, as if it's not enough, this OTS pack features the brand new Primal Being token to pair with your Nibiru, the Primal Being. They knew this was fire when they wrote that. As if that's not enough. The Primal Being token actually had some people up in arms on its release, because over in the OCG, it was released so fast. Nice world premiere card with Nibiru, by the way. TCG exclusive 3 weeks later. It's over in the OCG, and they got the token first. It's this madman rising out of the rubble because it's the huge attack monster forged by a meteor. Oh, it looks so good. And the tokens haven't been doing too shabby from the OTS packs. I think it was a good transition from that base vanilla, even though I'm a fan of those weird odd-off fusions and base vanillas. Moving the tokens was something else really awesome for collectors, and getting them exclusively in here is cool. And I think this will be one of the most demanded promos of all time with how impactful Nibiru is. Looking at how this is constructed, 13 commons, 10 supers, 3 ultimates. We already know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the super to ulti. So 4 supers, 2 ultis. This is a grand slam. This is a home run. I don't care whatever else they put in here. If it's more they could reprint Salamangreat Mole. I wouldn't care. This is freaking awesome. Coming December 5th to an OTS store near you. Wow. So let's look at some of the values to compare. Like, Solemn Judgment right now has been really thirsty for a reprint. A higher rarity version is not going to bring coolant to the prices. I don't think the Lost Art promo is going to bring any coolant to the prices. The focus is what's in this pack. And when we look around, Solemn Strike Ultimate Rare isn't very played right now. Like, we saw it enter some side decks again a while back. Some rogue strategies opt to use it, but it's not really taking over the meta or doing anything crazy, just because of how heralded it is. $77, $78 are the lowest prices for this ultimate rare. That's why I say Solemn Judgment, that's Old Man Say No. The original, the OG that is at 3 in our metagame, will solidly be $80+, and I don't know if there'll be an opportune time to get them. From out the gate, when things are usually over expensive, the demand for this card is going to be overwhelming versus the quantities that enter the market. Solemn Warning, similarly, for its first edition Ultimates, is very, very high as well. And the Unlimiteds, I think, float around 40 to 60, depending on the time. I don't know if they've actually gone under 60 in a long time. Let's take a look. I wasn't prepared for this. Brand new news. Konami's trying to break my notifications. Yeah, they're under $40 right now for the Unlimited, so relatively affordable for those. But if you're searching max rarity, which is what people really want, first edition, towards $70 as well. So you're looking with the Solemn Judgment Ultimate Rares at a very, very expensive piece of Yu-Gi-Oh! holofoil out your meta deck if all of these ever came together. Now, Spell and Trap Destruction. Twin Twisters has been the leading card for several structure decks. Like the Rocket Structure, I actually think it's the most expensive card, if I'm not mistaken. Dino Masher's Fury, it was for some times. And we finally see a little price coolant thanks to the recent Rocket Structure deck and how many different forms this has had. But Ultimate Rare, more than welcome. When we look at cards with infinite printings, Mystical Space Typhoon recently came back into relevance thanks to Sky Striker, and it's still hugging $40. And I feel like that's the thing with Twin Twister. It's going to revolve in and out depending on what's right. Like, maybe you can't spend extra resources from hand, but it's worth destroying one spell and trap because of some combo. People might hug Mystical Space Typhoon or the more recent Cosmic Cyclone because banishing tends to be better than destruction, especially against decks like True Draco. And that's why we recently covered on Market Watch that, hey, this has been rising over time and going up. So when we look at Spell and Trap Destruction, I think Twin Twister is the most blanketed, being able to take care of 2 cards and many decks getting graveyard resources. That's why I think it will hold around $50 rather than being the 30 to 40 range that the other 2 Spell and Trap Destructions are. It's just so much more in demand for modern Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's why I think it was an amazing choice. It shouldn't have been passed up all these years, and it's very, very welcome. Now, let's talk about Grin Maju. 4 total prices for the DR2. Understandable, have a nice day. It's been hugging around $4 for every single version, and we usually see the new holofoil versions of cards that are in demand also stay there. You made me a customer, Konami. I've been playing Grin Maju on stream for a couple of weeks now, really enjoying myself with a Machina build, which also happens to have an upcoming structure deck. It's like everything's just falling into place. But I really do enjoy Grin Maju as a deck. It's a huge fan favorite that people have wanted to see some kind of upgrade to for a long time. So not just putting it as a common slot and saying here, showing that you're going to put it in the super rare slot. You're so freaking in touch right now. It's so awesome to see how in tune this set is. And then Servant of Endymion, one of the more expensive cards that actually had floated into a buyout at one point during the max pendulum hype. Still around $2, locked in a structure deck. It's nice to see something grabbed from a structure and uplifted to the holofoil form. We're seeing a lot of lore based around her, and whenever some certain spellcasters get released, people start to like ponder and wonder if it's her. She definitely is tying in very fast into the Yugi-verse in terms of what people pay attention to, and I think has deserved a holofoil for how really awesome she is. And the final card besides the token to talk about is Time Thief Redoer. Really, this almost feels a little late, but when I am on Dueling Book playing more rogue strategies off deck building challenges, I tend to actually run into him, and he's a problem towards the bottom tables. I know OTS packs are supposed to be more meta relevant, and it's a little past this time, but we have upgrades coming to the Time Thief in future sets, so a super rare Time Thief Redoer is, in a sense, looking ahead in time at what people might want, as well as, I think, very deserved. The impact of this generic rank 4 that was impressed on the metagame before is moving forward going to be wanted once again in certain times. I do think he's definitely one of the best out there. The Primal Being token, I don't know where it's gonna settle. I think it can, obviously I don't think it can pass Nibiru in pricing an RNG 10 promo, but I do think that it may hug between a third to one half the price of an actual Nibiru, despite only needing 1 for your X amount of copies within the deck, since the token would, go back in. I think it'll hug $3 to $5. It could be more towards the 5 side. We've seen some tokens very recently actually spike and get their buyouts that I have been watching, so I really do respect this being in the pack. I think it was a good choice, and it just looks freaking awesome. It's going to be one of the best tokens of all times, in my opinion, as long as Nibiru is relevant. As long as we don't shift totally towards controller, find ways to negate him earlier, I think it's going to almost feel like that Max C conversation where we have Nibiru, they have Max C. Well, they have both now. But I really do feel like this will be wanted for a very long time by meta players and almost become one of the modern day collectible cards. But let me know what you guys think. Am I overhyped? Am I just too attached to Solemn Judgment? Or do you agree with the price points that are falling out here very early on and how it will evolve? Do you think this is one of the best ever? And what could tilt it over to your side of being best ever if you have an argument for another OTS pack? Ultimate Ash Blossom? Where would that send you? They usually lead with the best announcements. The third ulti is probably something less relevant, but oh my gosh, imagine. Just like, what else would you change to this and what are you looking forward to make it the best? And what OTS packs rival this? What do you think actually out the gate rivals 2 staple cards being foil upgraded? Let me know, because I think they hit the nail on the head with a hammer. They've really reached in, and this is a great job by Konami. I can't give enough praise to keep this up. Keep being this in touch with the community, Konami. Really awesome. Oh, and my notifications are probably suppressed since I'm uploading this so soon after, so there's a live stream tonight at 7 o'clock Central, and also please check out this set spoiler for the Dragon Maid set, Mystic Fighters. You should be able to click the link right now. Thanks for watching, everybody.